Okay, guys, welcome to the MORE Listings Mastermind. I'm your host, Robert Weichelt. I'm a certified success coach. Why I tell you that is because it's extensive training. It's very, very detailed training through success coaching. And I like to let everybody know I want to be here as a resource. I want to be here. And if you ever have any questions, I've been doing this a long time and coaching, training, mentoring agents all over the country. And we do this every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Each week, you can log into morenowlistings.com. So check it out. Make sure you save the date and let's get going. Who am I? Well, I'm the host of the MORE Listings Mastermind. And since 1986, I've had the privilege of helping thousands of sellers. I know some of you are doing the math going, 1986, dude, this guy's been in the business almost 40 years. My point is, I've seen a few things, and that's why I share with you today. So, as a broker, trainer, mentor, my mission is super simple: empower others to grow, win, and lead with purpose. I want to help agents get, you guessed it, more listings. I'm not here to teach you how to get with more buyers. I don't have a problem with that, but this is about getting more listings. With more listings comes more opportunities for other listings, more buyers, more investors, more agents if you're growing your team, and listings. It all starts with listings. So I certainly encourage you to take a quick snapshot of this one, and you can go right into my calendar. We can schedule the time. We help agents just like you every day, all around the country, lead generation, listing mastery, and agent development. Building scalable systems for real estate growth, guys. And my goal is to bring real world strategies, my relentless passion and proven systems. I want to help you take more listings. So with that said, I always start off with this quote, and it's just something that just really sinks in with me. And I hope you can relate to it as well. Tell me and I forget. Teach me, I may remember, but you involve me and I learn. That's Benjamin Franklin. Huge, huge words to live by. Now, let's go into the 5 habits that we as agents need to do every single day to grow our business. Number 1, lead generation. We all have that creative avoidance. Oh, I don't want to prospect. I don't want to get on the phone with a bunch of angry sellers. So my point is, we need to schedule time for lead generations, no exceptions. We need to block 90 minutes every single day for focused prospecting. It's not sharing? Yeah. Is my screen sharing, guys? Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, good.
I see it.
Oh, good. I just want to make sure. Is it you can see me and the slides about
I
5
see
habits?
I see you, Mr. Success, and your today, future, and think.
Excellent. I'll edit this part out. Thank you, Jeff Russell and Kelly Jones. So with that said, we need to make sure we're doing the lead generation that we're supposed to. We know this business is very difficult. We need to put it on our calendar, and we need to block out 90 minutes every day for focused prospecting. Okay. Focused prospecting is the most important thing. I'm not saying go have a glass of wine and try to prospect. Get focused in prospecting, you guys. Track and measure your numbers. What gets measured gets improved. Track and measure your numbers. Number 3, set appointments daily. A day without a seller or buyer appointment is a red flag. Follow up like a pro. 80% of the conversions happen in the follow up, and sharpen your skills. Role play, study scripts, watch top agent content, and go over objections that sellers will give you every single day. Because if you don't prospect, you're not going to get the objections. Now, I take all my listings via Zoom. I have since March of 2020. Carl and I are traveling in the United States in our RV, and we're taking listings. I took one just last night, a 2.4 in Carlsbad. So we're taking listings all done via Zoom. The reason why I bring that up is, do you have an efficient, effective way of doing your real estate business? Do you have an effective way to drive massive traffic to your open houses? This is one of our team members had 884 folks to their open house. That's a huge number. Another huge number, this last weekend, we did a listing in Menifee, had the open house weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It was over 100 degrees, and we had 38 groups. And I'm thinking, oh man, that's certainly let my expectations down. But then the agents called around to the other agents holding open houses. They had 0 traffic. Do you have a way to drive traffic even in 100-degree weather? Do you have a system to follow up with the FSBOs, the expireds, the pre-foreclosure? I use My Plus Leads. There's lots of different ones out there. This is just the one I've used, and they're fantastic. Carl will drop a link in the chat box and in the comments how you can check it out yourself. 14-day free trial. Do you have a cash offer solution? I was going to talk to you about my daughter, Brittany. She reached out to 5 for sale by owners and got responses back on at least having a conversation about selling their home because we approached it with a cash offer solution. Let me just note, she's never sold an ounce of real estate in her life. She's a beautician, a hairdresser. Did I say that right, Brittany? I hope I did. My point is, she doesn't know anything. She has no expectations because most agents go, oh, they're going to say this. What if they say this? They think too much. We don't want to think about it. We just want to take action. And that's why I brought up Brittany as a perfect example. She's actually the one that got me the $2.4 million listing appointment by reaching out to an expired. My point is it works. Do you have a system that you can reach out to FSBOs, expireds, and pre-foreclosures? Do you have a cash offer solution? In this ever-changing market, speed, efficiency, and maximum profit are now non-negotiables. Do you have a way to reach out to these sellers and guarantee them the highest, best price that they possibly can get? Reach out to me if you would like more information on that. We're going to stick around. We're going to do the accountability call after this. But at the end of the day, you need to be tracking and measuring your numbers, whether you have it on a CRM like Sisu, or you're taking notes on a napkin. We need to make sure that we're tracking and measuring our numbers. We need to make sure we're celebrating our wins. Big or small, we celebrate them all. And one last thing I want to bring up before we get our special guest on, and I'm telling you guys are in for a real treat today. Are you doing any marketing outreach to your buyers, your sellers, your database? What are you doing? Are you just always asking for business? Or are you reaching out, staying on top of mind? Well, Carta does a lot of great marketing that I'm sharing right here. 4th of July, birthdays. It's super important that we're reaching out to our database, having conversations aside from having conversations about real estate. We need to make sure we're doing that. So Carta will go ahead and put her information in the chat box. If you want some marketing, it doesn't cost you anything, because I feel it's important that we as agents are dripping on our contacts, dripping on our circle of influence. Now, I always bring in Richie Sorensen. Just got off the phone with Richie. He's literally floating in the Coeur d'Alene Lake, Lake Coeur d'Alene, with his kids on his tube, and he was going to jump on and share the Mortgage Minute with him. I said, don't do that. Don't do that. Just go ahead and enjoy that. But if you want to reach out to Richie, if you need a backup lender, this guy is a beast. He did our daughter's loan. He did our son's loan. He does all of our buyers, and he just makes us look really good. So I encourage you to reach out to Richie. With that said, if you guys want to get more now listings are FSBOs, expireds, and pre-foreclosure guys. We certainly want to reach out to our database, but now listings are FSBOs, for example. They have their hands up. We should feel obligated that we need to reach out to every FSBO, every expired, and every pre-foreclosure every single day. So if you're with me, schedule a quick meeting. Let's schedule a quick talk. Let's take a look under the hood. Let's set up a strategy session, and this is how you can do it. So with that said, I want to get to the meat of the program here. I'm super excited, and I'm starting off with this quote before we bring our special guest on. The secret to wealth is simple. Find a way to do more for others than anyone else does. Become more valuable, do more, give more, be more, and serve more. And that's Tony Robbins. That's a mouthful, but my point is we need to find ways to make sure we're being and adding value to our database, adding value to those we come across. So with that said, that's why we do the More Listings Mastermind each and every week. I want to be able to give back. I want to be able to share what we're doing, what's working, bring on special guests, and today's no different. I want to introduce our special guest today, Bryant Cartagena. He's an official Tony Robbins trainer. He's our special guest today. Bryant, you on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, there he is, my man. How are you doing today, brother? I can't hear you. Maybe it's just me. Can you hear? Go ahead and say that again. Can anybody hear Bryant?
No, we're not
No, we
hearing
can't
him
hear
either.
Okay, thank you.
Does that sound better?
Oh,
Yeah,
there
we
you
hear
go,
you.
brother. We're in. You know what? I love technology, and I'm not editing a thing because I want to know that it's raw, it's real, and it's fun. Bryant, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal, even better now that I'm in front of you guys. Thank you so much for having me, Robert.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can see your beautiful face. I tell you what, let's dive right into it. Let's get right into this. Tell us, who's Bryant Cartagena?
So I'm out here in New York, in the Northeast. I'm 30 years young. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I own and operate over six different businesses, predominantly in the auto industry with one outlier. But essentially, I've been dealing with autos and banks my entire life. So since the age of 17, I was introduced to the dealership world where I wasn't too successful. I was probably 17 out of 18, but it was a place, a position that allowed me to grow. And that's what I fell in love with. Just the idea that based on my own efforts and my performance, I can generate more income. And in 2018, I had a life altering injury where my whole life was crushed, destroyed. But it was the greatest thing to ever happen to me. I was able to I had to start rethinking where I was headed and what I was doing. And I ended up running into Tony Robbins, and my life was never the same. Came back from a big Tony event and opened up my company. Got happily married with my wife, and now I have four children. And I get to do what I love, which is travel the world, similarly to Robert, and just pour out to other individuals that want to learn, that want to do more, that really want to perform at their peak.
Man, I tell you, that's nothing like something powerful to get you headed in the other direction. I first was introduced to Tony back in the mid 80s when I jumped in the real estate business. I was in the title business, and he was doing a local show, and he wanted us title companies to go out and promote. And that's how I met with him. I had lunch with him. The guy is so big and so powerful and so you're just like, duh. Like, he is. I was so starstruck because he was just such a massive person. I've seen him multiple times since. Walked on Fire. My wife and I attended his big event. 10,000 people just going bananas. And it was an amazing. I digress. My point is, I love Tony, and I can't wait to hear what you're going to talk about today. Our number one goal was to talk about the momentum tool. That was kind of the preface of what we're doing, but let's let you take it away. You can go ahead and share your screen and do
Well,
whatever.
real quick, Robert, while I have you, I kind of want to just, is it okay if I pick your brain in front of everybody? I know
You
you
know what?
mentioned
That's
Tony.
that's even better. I'd like that better.
No, I definitely have some things to share with you guys, but I just came off of a workshop with a big Keller Williams office. Well, sorry for name dropping, a real estate company. They hosted me for their big quarterly event going into quarter three. That's why I'm all dressed up, by the way. Last time I came a little bit more chill, but I just came and connected with you guys. And I was hearing so many of the stories and what they were able to experience with Tony Robbins, and there seemed to be a pattern. So, Robert, I kind of want to ask you before we get into momentum, how was your experience with Tony, and how would you tie momentum to that? What started shifting, and what credit does Tony deserve for where you are now, currently?
Well, I mean, I could be here all day. We could take up the whole time we're here. I tell you this, when I was first introduced to him, I was just, it just struck a chord. It just, something clicked, and it's just worked for me. I heard it real early. Then when I got a chance to walk on Fire, we didn't finish until about 3:32 in the morning. And it's when cell phones first started coming out. I had the big old Mitsubishi, takes up the whole passenger seat phone. And I'm calling my wife on the way home. And I was like, I didn't even need gas. I was pushing the car. I was so fired up. And it was, she was sleeping. And anyway, fast forward, I've tapped into so many different times. And when I went there with Carla, my wife of 35 years this August, we went together with another group of powerful minded people. And it was just so amazing. And it made our relationship so much more strong and so much more powerful. Don't get me wrong. Marriage is awesome. It's great. But when you get a chance to take something that was already great and make it even greater, because I didn't even know it could be better. And that's what it did for me. And I know Carla, she wants to be shy and all. She may want to talk about what she's been doing with hers. She's got her move and she's got the whole thing. And but it's changed my life. And I encourage anybody, everybody, anyone that's listening to go to one of Tony's events, because it's, oh my God, it's game changer.
I love that you kind of went away from business and you spoke about your personal life. And so you would say that it helped you establish momentum, so to speak. It sounds like you guys already had a solid relationship, but it helped you unlock even more what was already there, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's one of the reasons why I love Tony, because this is not motivation, guys. This is just practical tools or philosophies that you guys can start applying in your everyday life to help you in anything that you guys do, in absolutely any area of your life. Matter of fact, our big initiative, and I was sharing that with you guys last time, is to help people be more productive in whatever they want to focus on. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go over. I'm sending a request, Robert. Go ahead, accept
Yeah.
that from me, please. I want to share with you guys Tony's top tool for generating momentum, because we've realized that if you're able to shift from being reactive and you start being more proactive, you're able to immediately start getting the ball rolling. Who here wants to start getting the ball rolling? Who understands that by getting maybe one listing, or starting off at the gym, or losing those 2 pounds, or maybe even going on a date with your wife is all that you need in order to start kind of developing the momentum necessary to have massive results? Drop a one in the chat if you guys understand the power of momentum. One. Lawrence. For sure. I think momentum we all know momentum is super important. Now, how many of us kind of sit around just waiting for momentum to happen? Right? I think that's where most of the world lives, where momentum to us a lot of the time means interest rates are low. It means that there's, good enough inventory. People are selling and we can kind of jump on board, or the market is good. People are making money. Kind of like 2021, for example, just to give you guys it was so easy that a squirrel could find the nut in 2021. I'm not dissing you guys if you guys started in real estate during that time period, but the truth is that in every industry, anybody can catch a break. You open the door and everything was just so accessible, so easy. Everybody was buying, and so a lot of people were generating money. That's great. There's going to be times in the economy that are going to benefit from that level of momentum and that magnitude. But what we want to learn how to do is how to develop momentum for ourselves. Guys, 2024, there was 71% of MLS agents that didn't close a deal. They didn't make a dime. They were just realtors because they were realtors, because they had the title, but they weren't out here providing value or getting paid for who they were. Those are the most important moments, because if we're able to develop momentum in that kind of market, when things like that are going on, that's the difference that makes a difference. Why? Because people were still buying homes, people were still listing their properties. The only difference is that about 29% of people were able to dig into the pot. Is that making sense for you guys?
Absolutely.
So there was still transactions being done. The number wasn't that low. We decreased performance by maybe 10 or 12%, but only 29%. Again, about 70% of people didn't have anything to do with the pie. And so there was a lot more money generated by the handful of individuals that did show up, that were able to generate their own leads, like I mentioned, that were able to do the follow-ups like a pro, that were able to market themselves, to provide value, to connect with other individuals. And so Robert provides a lot of strategies, and I love that. What we want to learn how to do is how to get in the right belief system or in the right mindset so that we can start being productive on the things that we already know we should be doing. Is that making sense for you guys?
Absolutely, brother. This is awesome.
So I want to very quickly just a refresher around the time traps that are stealing our focus. Because once we realize what's stopping us, we're able to then focus on what's really important and create a plan moving forward. So I'm going to go very quickly through this. I shared this last month, but these numbers are super important. This was a study done by Stanford University last year to help Tony Robbins understand the power and the tool that he has access to right now in the form of RPM. And so 60 represents the amount of time that an average American gets interrupted during a day of work. 5.5 represents the amount of hours that an average American spends on TV or social media. That's ESPN, Netflix, Keeping Up with the Kardashian, or Love Island is all I'm seeing now. 253 is 2 hours and 53 minutes. That's the amount of actual productive work that we get done during an 8-hour work period, which means we're really being productive for a third of the time, guys. We're dedicating 8, 9 hours of our life, of our day to getting the job done, and we're not really doing anything about it. It's kind of like Robert mentioned. We all know we should be prospecting, right? And so we'll black out 2, 3 hours of our day to prospect, but we only make 3 or 4 calls. And so it's like you're allocating the time, but this is not about prioritizing your schedule, guys. This is about scheduling your priorities. This is about making sure that not only we're allocating the time, but that we're being productive during that set time. That's the difference. That's going to make the difference when establishing momentum. And then 82 is the percent of people that do not have an effective time management system.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
People are just going about their day reacting to the external world. They're dealing with a constant, never-ending to-do list. Who here? Drop a 2 in the chat if you're behind sometimes before you even get started. It's like, I know I got to go prospect, but I first have to follow up with all these people that I didn't connect with last week. And by the time before I connect with them, I need to make that phone call with Elizabeth, who already is on the edge and she's ready to commit and give me her listing. But then I got to get on that call with Robert at 4 o'clock, at 1 p.m. And then it's like, before you even get your day started, you're already writing the things you need to do. And it's too many things compared to the 24 hours that you have. And so what happens for a lot of us? We develop analysis by paralysis and we do nothing. Or we act like we're doing something. We go and sit down on the computer and we find a way to get distracted. We do absolutely everything other than the project at hand. And that's not because of lack of schedule, guys. There's so many tools now to schedule your days. This is because of lack of focus. And we did a little assessment, which I'll share with you guys via email, called The Wheel of Life, where we learned a little bit more about what different areas of our life we should focus on. And then we asked the big question. And I'm going to ask you guys, and I want you guys to start utilizing the chat for this one as a refresher. What's stopping you from being productive, from getting to that next level, from getting more listings? Lawrence, I saw you on. I don't know if you're still available to maybe unmute yourself and share. What are 2 or 3 things that are holding you back from being as productive as you know you should be?
Sorry about that, Brian. I was answering a call for an actual client. But procrastination is going to be one of my biggest factors. Procrastination, time blocking.
Time, right? It's almost always to do with time. Guys, drop a 1 in the chat again if you can relate to Lawrence. It's procrastination. It's time mastery. Call it discipline, focus, schedule. But who here feels like if they were able to master their time, they'll be able to be more productive than they already are? Who here wants to learn how to master their time in 2025, sorry, for the second half of the year? We went over this a little bit, guys. People hire Tony because yes, they want to grow. Yes, they want to do more. Yes, they want to perform better. But essentially what we all want is more time. Time to do what's important to us. Time to spend with our family. Time to have more fun. So think about that for a second. And I'm going to wrap back around that. But I want you guys to understand that what we're really after, guys, is not necessarily just more listings. But it's more listings so that we can have more time. Because there's machines making money, but there's no machines making time. And if we're able to start utilizing our time more effectively, then not only will we get more listings, but we'll have more fulfillment. Because success without fulfillment, guys, is the ultimate failure. And so when we uncovered what was really stopping us from developing that momentum, we put a nice word to it. We called it BS. Who remembers what BS stands for? Who was here last call and remembers what BS stands for? Robert, you're laughing. You want to share with everybody what BS stands for?
Go ahead. You explain it better.
It's not what you guys think. It's not that word. This is a PG meeting. Robert told me I can't use any curses, guys. It's belief systems. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of belief system, guys. And write this quote down. If you guys wrote it before, repetition is the mother of skill. Write it down again. All human behavior is belief driven. Your beliefs lead you to a thought. Your thoughts determine your decisions. Your decisions then lead you towards action or lack of actions. And then those actions produce a result. And so a lot of people focus on the action and the result, but not enough people focus on the belief. That's what allows people to take action. It's not what they know, it's the belief about what they know. We all have access to information. We can all go out there. We know what to do, and most of us even know how to do it. But what we believe about a certain thing, about ourselves, about other people, is what's going to determine whether we're going to do it or not. Who here knows somebody that knows exactly what to do, but they don't do anything about it? Anybody know somebody like that?
Yeah.
Maybe personally, right? Maybe ourselves at times.
Yeah.
Right, Brittany, for sure. And so how are we ever going to develop momentum if we can't even take action with what's in front of us currently? And now I want to refresh your memory when it comes to, I'm going to take this down real quick. Give me a second. I don't know if you guys remember this board over here, for those of you guys who were part of the other meeting, how essentially our belief is what drives our potential. The potential allows us to take action, and then that action produces a result. But once we get this result, we start reinforcing our beliefs, which allows us to tap into more potential, which allows us to take more action, which allows us to get a result, and so on and so forth. And so, guys, whenever you have a belief, understanding that all human behavior is belief-driven, a belief is either helping you grow or leading you to die. There's no in between. It sounds kind of dark. But if you're not growing, you're dying. And your beliefs are in direct proportion with the trajectory of the life that you're living. And so now that we kind of, is that a good enough refresher? Are you guys following along everything that we were speaking about last time, right? We want more time to be more productive, to do more of the things that we love. And the things that are holding us back is essentially our beliefs about ourselves, about other people, about the world. And now what I want you guys to understand is how we can shift those beliefs by not only scheduling, but prioritizing our schedule. And so I'm going to get back on the board. I want you guys to now write down 2 goals. It's going to be a little exercise we're going to do. I want you guys to write down 2 goals. Write down a personal goal and write down a professional goal. Write down 2 goals. A personal goal and a professional goal. Let me take a minute. This is quarter 3. It's the second half of the year. I'm going to let you guys just marinate on that a little bit. Make sure that the goals, by the way, are what we call SMART goal. You guys know what SMART goals are. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and with a timeline. I want to volunteer some of you guys. Unless anybody wants to volunteer. If you want to volunteer, just unmute yourself. Let's hear 2 goals. I'm going to give you guys about 5 seconds. And if not, then I'm going to have to volunteer some of you guys. Go ahead, Lawrence. Let's hear it.
Bryant, lose 25 pounds before September 9th and close 3 deals before September 1st.
Ooh.
Business and personal.
Wow, I love that, guys. Clap it up for Lawrence. Clap it up.
I wrote that down.
He was specific. He could measure that goal. He has a specific outcome in mind by a timeline. It's obviously realistic, something attainable. And Lawrence, I applaud you for that because a lot of people don't even have a target in place. And so they're going all over the place. And so you went ahead and you were specific, you were measurable. Let's hear some other ones. Robert says, spend more time traveling with my family.
I sent that before I was finished writing it, spending more time with family in Italy in September 26th.
Oh, there you go. There you go. We got specific. We came up with a timeline, something you can measure. So Robert, clap it up for Robert as well. That's awesome. Let's hear some more of those goals. Matter of fact, I want to get into the exercise. Who here wants to get into the exercise? We're gonna talk about the goals in a second, but I want you guys to now take this a little bit deeper. I want to introduce you guys to RPM. RPM. So what does RPM stand for? R, result focused. So I want you guys to draw out, kind of like this. I'm going to draw it out on my board. I want you guys to draw out 3 lines in your notes. We're going to do a quick exercise. This is the momentum tool. This is what Tony calls his stress buster, his execution tool. So I want you guys to just go on a piece of paper this way and just draw out something simple like this, just 3 categories. And we're going to go over result, purpose, and then your map, right? So just draw out, does that make, oh, there you go, that's better. So just divide your paper up into 3, essentially. And the first thing we're going to do is take some time to write our result. So we already have Lawrence's, we have Robert's. Let's see some more out there. Brittany, what are your 2 outcomes that you're trying to accomplish? Make sure they're specific, measurable, realistic, attainable, and with a timeline.
Not entirely sure. I'm still writing it down, so just give me a minute.
Okay, for sure, Brittany, for sure. We'll wrap back around. We definitely want to hear that. Jeff, let me see. Stacy, do you mind sharing your result, your 2 outcomes that you're absolutely committed to achieving?
No.
Okay. So are you writing them down at least, Stacy? Are you getting it down on pen on paper?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Man, I can't force you to share with the group, but guys, make sure you do the exercise. Why? Because this tool you guys can utilize to plan out this month, for example, or this next goal, but you can also utilize this for the year. You can utilize this for any project. I utilize this for the workshop. This is the way that Tony went from running a couple of businesses and feeling extremely overwhelmed to running 114 companies, generating $9 billion of revenue, having a loving, passionate relationship with his wife, having time to host these global events, work with some of the greatest minds of our time. This is how Tony's able to still go to an AC/DC concert, go snowboarding, go to a game here and there. It's all because he has a philosophy around time. And that's what we want to uncover today, how we can start mastering our time so that we can start taking action no matter what's going on in the external world. And that's what's going to create momentum. Are you guys following?
Absolutely.
If we don't have a strategy in place to ensure that we're taking action no matter what, then it's very easy to lose sight of the goal and to stop taking the action the moment things get hard. Who here can relate to that, right? Things get difficult, things get a little bit hard, and we stop taking the actions that we know we should take. Whether that's for your health and your relationship. We all know that if we're taking our partner on a date and making sure that we're speaking the right language and we're connecting, we're going to have a great relationship. So it's not that Robert didn't know, but I'm sure that when Robert went to see Tony, he understood a little bit more, brought a little bit more awareness to where he was at in his relationship, what kind of things he needed to start focusing on. And it's a remembrance. And so if we don't have it at top of mind, guys, it's very hard. Again, I'm going to repeat that line. I've mentioned it a couple of times. It's not about prioritizing your schedule. This is about scheduling your priorities. How to make time for the things that are important to you. Now, in the second column, what I want you guys to do is, I want us to write down our purpose. This is going to get a little deep. But what is your purpose? Why do you really want it? Why is this a must for you? So a lot of you guys can't even begin to share your purpose or your outcome. I challenge you guys, get comfortable getting uncomfortable. You're part of this group for a reason. This can help you create some accountability. But if it's hard for you to even share your outcome, then it must be even tougher to share your why. But that's the key that glues it all together, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but we haven't even began to speak about the action that you need to take because it frankly doesn't matter. If you don't know what you want and you don't know why you want it, then it'll be impossible to take the right actions no matter what's going on out there. And so I feel like Lawrence and Robert are leading the pack a little bit here. So I'm going to ask you guys, piggyback a little bit off of what you guys shared already. But if anybody else wants to share, by all means, unmute yourself. This is an interactive workshop. But Lawrence, why do you want to? And I'm going to ask you a specific question. You mentioned September 9th. So I'm curious because there's definitely a reason why that date is important to you. So why? Why are you looking to lose 25 pounds specifically by September 9th?
My wife's birthday. We're going on vacation that day.
Your wife's birthday. And you're going on vacation. Where are you going, Lawrence?
Well, so we're going to Vancouver, Canada.
Okay, that's awesome. Vancouver, Canada. And why is it important for you to be physically fit by the time you guys get to that vacation?
One want to be in better shape by that time, right? Two, uh, for myself and her, we have this thing together that we're trying to accomplish, trying to lose this amount of weight in that time frame. So we both feel good about ourselves at the end of the day, and for the purpose of our son too, that we can start spending more time with him, being more active, all that good stuff there. So that's for the health side. Business side.
Lawrence, let me stop. Let me keep you right there. Let me keep you right there. So I want you guys to understand we're doing this exercise, but guys, I'm not talking just to Lawrence. I hope. I hope you guys are understanding how this works, right? So, Lawrence, right, that sounds amazing, right? You're trying to accomplish this goal with your wife, reach still that outcome specifically to have more energy for your children. Why though? Why is it important that you guys accomplish a goal together? What would that mean for your relationship?
Well, it's going to bring us closer. We both have the same goal in mind, and our bond is going to become stronger.
And what comes out of a stronger bond? It sounds like you're raising a family. How many children do you have?
One
You have one. What would that mean for your son or a daughter?
son.
For your son, what would that mean for your son if you guys were able to accomplish goals together? You guys are more fit together. You guys are achieving the things you set out to achieve together. What would that mean for your son going forward?
That he's going to actually be more active. Actually, we have goals on our refrigerator, on dry erase on our refrigerator for every 2 hours, because it's summertime right now. Every 2 hours, you got to spend 10 minutes on the treadmill. So I made it an effort to say, I'm going to do that with him. Once
How
she's done, I got to go do it because we work from home a lot and we're sitting on the computer. Me and my wife work from home. So we have to stay active. He's on vacation, playing video games every 5 seconds. So every 2 hours, 10 minutes on the treadmill, and then I'm back on with him.
Wow,
So
that's awesome. I love what you're doing. How old is he?
he's 10, going on
What's his
20.
name?
10, Legend
Legend.
King.
Wow, that's a great name. That's a great name. And I'm glad that you guys are doing that because all that means is that Legend is going to grow up, number one, active. And
Right.
what does that mean for you? Why is it important that he's active? Because, guys, now you mentioned the video games. It's so easy to be on a screen, on the phone. And if you're getting out there, getting physical, you're able to connect more with life. You're able to have so much more energy. And I'm sure that you have a lot of other reasoning behind why you want him to get moving, get grooving, Lawrence. But, guys, are you guys following? And I can sit here all day. Depending on how much time you allocate, if you keep digging into the why, now that's the pleasure. So, guys, you guys can write this down. Humans act to either gain pleasure or avoid pain. That's the only two reasons that humans act. It's either to gain pleasure or to avoid pain. So I can even dive deeper into the why with Lawrence right now. And I can also reverse that. Lawrence, what happens if you don't achieve the goal? What would that look like? Let's say this was just another goal that you set out with your wife that you don't accomplish. How would that feel in your relationship?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I help a coach his soccer team, and so I had to be active. I was hurting this past season, right? Back pain and everything else, out of shape. So I know if we stay together and work harder, this coming season that's coming up, I'm gonna be in better shape. He's gonna be in better shape. We're all gonna be in better shape at that time. So that's
Right.
the real reason I was in pain,
Yeah, imagine you did. Imagine you don't do anything
right?
and you just kind of sit there and you just let again, guys, I'm not talking just to Lawrence. I hope that you guys are understanding that. I don't want to make this seem like it's a one-on-one. I want you guys to start writing down and picking up your nuggets. This is the question you need to ask yourself, right? So Lawrence is there and he doesn't do anything, and it gets to September 9th, and he still feels like he's overweight. His son is already looking at him like, I heard you said, go for yourself, and you didn't achieve it. So next time Lawrence goes speaks to his son, he's going to have to walk on eggshells because he already knows, and his son is growing. He's 10. He's in that preteen stage. I have an 11-year-old daughter, Lawrence, so I know exactly what that's like. And then he gets to soccer season, and now he's telling his son to run, but he can't even keep up with his son. What is that going to mean for Lawrence? What kind of dad is that? You're supposed to be this big, bad, awesome ball of awesomeness that gave birth to this child, and now he's looking at you like, I'm faster, I can run better, I have more stamina. At 10 years old, I'm on a mission too, Lawrence. I have a boy, he's 5. And I have a couple of girls, but my goal is I want to be their top level competition. Like, I don't want my son to ever beat me in a basketball game. I don't want my son to ever outrun me. And I'm going to work super hard for that because I know that if he has somebody that close to him that can challenge him, it's only going to make his level of competition rise. So that's one of my whys why I work out really hard, so I can relate. I'm very into my fitness, and it's because I want to create that for my family as well. And so, guys, when you start digging deep, you start creating a why. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to ask the public, now that we spoke a little bit to Lawrence. Drop in the chat, do you guys think it'll be easier or harder for Lawrence to take action every single day, understanding why he's doing what he's doing? Easier or harder? What do you guys think?
I'd say it's easy.
Easier. And so,
it's easier.
the key, hear me out, guys. The key to momentum is fueling it with the right beliefs or the right purpose. That's what's going to allow you to move no matter what's going on. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you. Is it okay if I share a little bit about my story?
Absolutely.
So I have a 25-year-old brother. His name is Anthony Cartagena. Same mother, same father. Come from immigrant parents. Legal immigrants, by the way. And Anthony, at 25, can't keep a job. He can't keep a job for more than 3 months. He dropped out of high school. He still lives at home with mom. He's 60 pounds overweight. He spends all day playing video games. Can't have a girlfriend for his life. He doesn't know how to treat women. When you ask Anthony, dude, why aren't you doing more for yourself? Why aren't you going out there and growing and becoming a better person? He looks at you in the face and says, when I was 12 years old, my father was brutally murdered. I'm 30 years old. I'm happily married with 4 children. I run and operate 6 different businesses. I'm one of 5 hand-selected speakers for Tony. I travel the world contributing, giving back, volunteering, my energy, my passion, and everything that I consist of to help the world become a better place. When you ask Bryant, why do you do that? Why do you take those actions? Why are you so passionate about what you do? I look them in the face and I say, when I was 12 years old, my father was brutally murdered. So you don't experience life, guys. You experience the life you focus on. So it's not about knowing what to do. Lawrence can have all the goals in the world. We live in a hustle culture nowadays. So everybody wants to accomplish goals. Everybody wants to close more deals. Everybody wants to make more money. Everybody wants to be more fit. We have so much information, but knowledge is potential power. What fuels that power and helps you take action are your beliefs. And so that's what separates Tony from everybody else. It's not that he knows how to manage his time better. It's that he ties it to emotion, which is energy and motion. And once you have emotion attached to something, whether that's pain or pleasure, you can utilize one, the other, or a little bit of both. I like to use a little bit of both. What do I gain if I accomplish this goal? But why do I need to? What's going to hurt if I don't? And then that, guys, allows me to create what I call a map. A massive action plan. What are the 2 to 3 actions that I must take to achieve, call it 80% of the result that I'm seeking? Because it's not even about being perfect at everything you do, guys. Tony does not, he has 114 businesses. Guys, do you think Tony is in 114 different meetings a week? No. Tony jumps into 6 meetings essentially a month. He has a bunch of individuals that run 10 companies, 12 companies, 15 companies here, 12 companies there, 10 companies here. And once a week or every 2 weeks, he meets up in a boardroom and he's able to connect with all the sales leaders, all the marketing leaders, all the leaders here, all the leaders there. And he has maybe 6 meetings all month. And that helps him run 114 businesses. Are you guys following? It's kind of like what Robert is doing right now on a different scale, right? That's why Robert is so focused on more listings. He's being intentional with his time. He's being more productive. He's leveraging the same 24 hours that we all have. And so some of us are so focused on reacting to the external world, handling the things that we need to do, that we're not really creating a map towards where we want to go. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So instead of focusing on your to-do list today or tomorrow or this year or this month or this second half or this quarter, I want you guys to immediately shift your focus and start thinking about what is my outcome? What is the result that I'm absolutely committed to achieving? Why do I need to achieve that goal? Why is this outcome important to me? And now, what are the 2 to 3 actions that I need to ensure I take to move the needle forward? When you do it specifically in that step, and so on the third column, guys, I want you now to start listing, start brainstorming. Now that you know what you want and why you want it, you can start brainstorming ideas. Just start putting them on paper, pen to paper. What are actions that I need to take to get to the outcome that I want? And in the beginning, don't filter. Just write things down. Write things down. Okay, I need to prospect more. I need to get 10 listings. I need to, except for Lawrence, for example, I'm gonna start listing them for Lawrence, right? I'm thinking in my head, I need to make sure I wake up early. I need to go to the gym. I need to get more sleep. I need to drink more water. I need to cut out sugar. I need to hit the sauna. I need to hit the cold plunge. I need to do some yoga. I need to do this. I need to read a book so that I could get into whatever. You start just listing things down. And then you create a map. Now you are able to highlight 1 or 2 things, or maybe 3 things that you know are going to move the needle forward. For example, for me and Lawrence, that would be as long as I move my body 4 times a week, as long as I'm cutting out sugar completely, and I'm getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep, I know that I'm taking all the actions necessary to get closer to my outcome. Are you guys following?
Absolutely.
So now you're able to focus a lot of that energy on other projects, other areas of your life. And that's how you create a fulfilled life, by being able to put not only the time, but the focus on the areas that matter most to you. And guys, once Lawrence is able to even lose, call it 17 pounds. Let's say he doesn't lose 25, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows. Things are still going to be difficult. You're going to still have to change your strategy. But how much more will Lawrence work at that goal or at that final outcome if he knows that that quarter, those 3 months that he set aside for himself, those 90 days, he was able to already accomplish so much? So now he's like, I did 70 pounds, this worked, this didn't. You can go back to the drawing board. Okay, what's my outcome now? Why? And now let me maybe fix these 2 to 3 actions and make sure that I align perfectly with my goal. But you start reinforcing that why. You start reinforcing your beliefs. And that's how you're able to create momentum, guys, in everything that you do. It's by going out there and having a plan, but more importantly, taking action on that plan immediately. Immediately. And so Tony shares that if you talk about it, it's essentially a dream. So a lot of us talk a lot about our goals. We want to close more deals. We want to make more money. We want to lose the weight. But about 70% of New Year's resolutions are recycled, guys. We just find a different way of naming them, of wording them. We want to lose 25 pounds today, then we want to lose 10 inches of circumference, then we want to do this, and we want to do that. And we're just finding creative ways of setting up the same goal and procrastinating on it. If you envision it, it's possible. And so I want you guys to start taking some time to really lock in and really start flexing your mind, whether that's in the form of prayer or meditation or a walk around the park or maybe even going to the gym. I want you guys to start envisioning what's possible for you. But here's the most important piece that 90% of the world isn't doing, and they're drifting, and it's scheduling it. It's making it real. Making sure you put it on paper. Don't wake up every single day reacting. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. No, what do you want?
That's
Jim Rohn.
and you know what, Bryant? You know what, Bryant? Not to cut you off. I'm sorry. You got so much good stuff, but you said something that was super important. If you don't know what your why is, it's just going to be that much more difficult to get there. But you talked about tracking and measuring, whether it's weight, whether it's listings. And that brings up such a huge point is that's why we're always tracking and measuring our numbers. If we're not, we don't know where we need help, or we need to make those in-flight adjustments that you talked about. It's so important to simplify things. What do you want? Why do you want it? Go deep. Get the vision board out. Have it above your desk when you're prospecting. Have it on your refrigerator like Bryant does and Lawrence does. Have it visual so you keep the motivation going. And that is what the momentum tool is. And I know this is momentum tool 1.0 because we're going to have you back on and we're going to go even deeper because I know we can. And I'd love to have you back on. Bryant, I tell you, what's the closing message that we want to say to the folks that are not only on this call in the standing room only, but on our YouTube channel, on our podcast on Spotify? We want to send the message. What's your closing message for the folks that are tuning in?
Oh, that's a great question, Robert. I want to end by just sharing with you guys this quote, and it's in your moment of your decisions that your destiny is shaped. And when I say decision, guys, the moment that you decide to do it another time, you already decided that you're not going to do it. Does that make sense? And so a lot of us procrastinate towards our goals, towards our outcomes, towards our actions. And hear me out. Tony shared this with me about 10 months ago. He said, Bryant, by the time that I used to do a lot of, by the way, analysis about paralysis, like I'll sit back with all the strategy in the world to kind of come out of my, by the way, I was invited to be a national speaker for Tony about 2 years ago. And I just get stuck on this idea of exiting my business the right way. And I'll come up with all these strategies. And Tony said, dude, by the time that you're able to create a strategy for yourself and really take action on it, I've already created a strategy. I took action. I failed. I looked at everything that happened. I created a new strategy. I took action again. I failed again and created a third strategy, and you still haven't even gotten started. And so he's like, you're not gonna shortcut your way towards success just by thinking. You need to take action. You need to decide once and for all. And that's why understanding what you want and why you want it is so important. Because when you know what you want and why you want it, it's so much easier to take that leap. It's so much easier for Lawrence to get up and go to the gym, to work out, to do what he needs to do. So I'm going to repeat it one more time, Rob, as we wrap up here. It's in your moment of your decisions that your destiny is shaped. So make sure you guys are...
That's powerful, man. That's powerful.
Thank you, Bryant.
Yeah, I certainly want to thank Bryant for jumping on. I want to pay a special thanks to Lawrence for Coach Lawrence. Coach Lawrence is one of my mentors and one of my colleagues, one of the most wonderful human beings on the planet, with one exception of that hat you're wearing, brother. Well, anyway, I just want to thank you, Lawrence, for being on. Bryant, wow, huge. You hit it out of the park. I'm so grateful that Brittany got a chance to be on this because that was way more powerful than I ever imagined. So my heart, we just thank you from all my heart, dude. That was awesome. Thanks everybody for jumping on. I'm going to share the screen just one last time before we wrap it up here. And I want to make sure that you guys don't just survive in real estate, thrive. Reach out to me today. Let's take a look into your hood. Let's find out what's happening in your real estate business and let's get to where we need to go together. Let's find out what your why is and how we're going to map it out so you can take action. This is Robert Weichelt for the MORE Listings Mastermind. I tell you what, this has been a real pleasure today. You can join us each Wednesday. Go to morenowlistings.com. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around. We're going to go over goals and actuals after this.